Every Sunday of Labor Day weekend, over 20,000 cyclists flock to Chicago's Lakefront to take part in Bike the Drive. Beginning at 6:30 a.m., riders are treated to a car-free Lakeshore Drive and are free to ride the 30-mile course at whatever speed desired. The course is filled with bikes and riders of all shapes and sizes, and the event is a carefree experience on one of Chicago's nicest weekends of the year. This video provides an overview and review of Bike the Drive with footage from the 2025 installment of this annual event on Chicago's Lakefront. Today we're at the annual Bike the Drive, and I'm here with my wife Amy. So we're going to bike 30 miles on Lakeshore Drive with all the people streaming out behind us, and we'll see how it goes. It's a beautiful day. It's a great day to ride on Lakeshore Drive. Lakeshore Drive opens to cyclists between 6:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. on the Sunday of Labor Day weekend. Butler Field on Jackson Boulevard between Columbus Drive and Lakeshore Drive serves as the hub of the event. Butler Field is part of Grant Park and is known to Chicagoans as the site of the Petrillo Music Shell, which hosted 6 Chicago Bulls championship celebrations in the 1990s.
My heart, my soul, and my love has always gone to the city of Chicago.
This festival area is the point where most riders check in for the event and begin their ride on a car-free Lakeshore Drive.
So I actually have some connections at Bike the Drive, and I wasn't expecting to run into my cousin, Claire McDermott. Claire, what's your role?
I'm the event director here at Bike the Drive.
Okay, so what do I need to know as we venture out onto the course?
It's just a great day. We have riders of all abilities out here. We've got young folks, old folks, everything in between. Really, they say Chicago's a melting pot. Today, Chicago's a melting pot over here.
Perfect.
My wife and I set off from the festival area a bit before 8 a.m. The immediate choice faced by us and all bikers is whether to head north or south on Lakeshore Drive. Both directions are about 7.5 miles to the turnaround, and it would be hard to make an argument that one direction is markedly better than the other. Without much thought, we started our ride heading north from Butler Field. I don't really feel that there is a right or wrong direction to take. My hunch is the north side is more crowded, which could be a deciding factor for many riders. A highlight of the ride north is encountered almost right away as the route passes over the Chicago River. This is a great place to pull over to the side and take in the views of Lake Michigan and Navy Pier in the distance. The sun is coming up in the early morning hours, and boats are getting on to Lake Michigan and traversing the Chicago River. The view down the canyon of buildings along the Chicago River is also one of the best in Chicago. The uphill that was necessary to get to the top of the bridge over the Chicago River is followed by a nice downhill that brings the ride along a string of beaches on the north side of the city. Adjacent to Lakeshore Drive is the Chicago Lakefront path, where countless people are out walking, biking, and jogging while getting their days off to a productive start. I would guess that most riders get a feeling of being special for having the privilege of riding on Lakeshore Drive. I know I had a feeling along those lines while pedaling north.
I'll tell you what, early results, Bike the Drive exceeds expectations. There's a ton of people out here, and the weather today, it's a 10. What would you give the weather? 1 out of 10? 12. It's even better than 10. It's a perfect day for riding and tons of space out here on Lakeshore Drive.
Riding on Lakeshore Drive also provides different perspectives than can be had on the Lakefront path. The road is a bit higher up and both sides of the road are visible, providing a greater amount of scenery. The weather on this day was absolutely perfect. Sunny, warming to above 70 degrees, and little wind to speak of. This is typical September weather in Chicago, and I would surmise that it is the normal conditions for Bike the Drive. The sheer number of riders on the road is immediately noticeable and truly a sight to behold. You are surrounded by bicycles at all times, and the bike traffic is flowing in each direction. It is a literal highway of bikes of every imaginable type being ridden by all manner of people at all different speeds. Observing the different styles of rides and riders enhanced the enjoyment of the ride and provided entertainment throughout the morning.
Another observation I'll make is there is a huge diversity of riders by age, by skill level, by bike type. It's just everybody's out here, all of Chicago.
It should be noted that helmets are required of participants, and those riding without helmets are rare and stick out like a sore thumb when seen. Despite the volume of traffic moving along at different rates, the flow seemed incredibly smooth. There was plenty of room to pass anyone that might be going slower, and I never got the feeling that I was going to get run over by faster riders. Similar to highway rules, slower riders are told to stay to the right and faster riders to the left. This rule is generally observed, however, by no means is it universally followed, and the left lane is oftentimes blocked with slower riders. The preponderance of bike-to-drive participants are out for a carefree ride and are not trying to maximize speed. Furthermore, there are many families and children. Those looking to use the event for speed work will likely find it frustrating and will oftentimes endanger themselves and other people while constantly passing less experienced riders. The vibe of riders and the event as a whole is laid back. Those going all out oftentimes seem out of place and at the wrong event.
Stress-free, that's the vibe I'm getting out here. I don't think anybody's thinking about the troubles of everyday life, their job. Everybody's just kind of out enjoying this perfect day. No cars, just riding. Everyone kind of liking life right now. That's what I'm getting.
Fullerton Avenue on the north side is a checkpoint in which riders can get registered and enter or exit the course. This eliminates the need to start the day at Butler Field in downtown Chicago. There is also a similar checkpoint on the south end of the course at Oakwood Boulevard. Just before reaching the turnaround at the northern end of the course, there is a refueling stop at Bryn Mawr Avenue. This is an expansive site with bathrooms, bike mechanics, and plenty of food and drink options that are free to riders. I would recommend stopping to check it out, whether the stop is needed or not. It provides an opportunity to get a few perks while mingling with hundreds of other riders who are taking a break from their rides.
I'm at the turnaround at the north end of the course. A lot of free loot that they give you, so you're getting your money's worth. Got some cookies, granola bar, banana, apple, chips. I'm not going to eat it all, but just want to show you guys. A lot of free stuff here.
The northern turnaround at the terminus of Lakeshore Drive at Hollywood Boulevard is another place for riders to get registered and begin their ride. Same holds true for the southern end of the route at the Museum of Science and Industry. As you pedal back south toward downtown Chicago, you are treated to new views that were not visible on the ride north. The John Hancock Building takes on a prominent position in the skyline, and there are great views of the boats docked in Diversey Harbor and the expansive green spaces of Lincoln Park. There are plenty of photo opportunities as you approach downtown, pass around the S-curve, go back over the Chicago River, and complete the north side portion of the route. As you get back to Butler Field, it is necessary to take a ride around the park and re-enter the chute that brings riders onto Lakeshore Drive. There is also an opportunity to stop at a refueling station when passing by Butler Field. It was at this point in the morning that we turned right back onto Lakeshore Drive and began our ride south. There are a series of sights to take note of as you ride south from downtown Chicago. Buckingham Fountain will immediately be on your right and should be sprouting water at full force beginning at 8 a.m. After that, the ride curves around the Field Museum of Natural History, followed by Soldier Field, home of the Chicago Bears.
And go Bears!
Beyond Soldier Field is the McCormick Place Convention Center compound that flanks both sides of Lakeshore Drive. As the ride travels south on Lakeshore Drive, the road passes under some interesting bridges that provide access to the lake and the vast grounds of Burnham Park. The morning was getting late as we pedaled south towards the turnaround at the Museum of Science and Industry. After 10 a.m., there were substantially less riders, which provided more open road to ride on. However, the energetic vibes from the packed north side had also dissipated.
We're headed south on South Lakeshore Drive now, and it's noticeably less crowded. I don't know if it's because we're getting kind of closer to the cutoff time or if there's just people start on the north side, but less crowded, and honestly, I kind of liked it when it was more packed and just kind of more open road riding. But still great, still exceeding expectations, still a beautiful day.
The Southside Refueling Station is located on the front lawn of the Museum of Science and Industry. This involves a right turn onto 56th Street, whereupon the course goes right into the access road to the museum. It was after 10:30 when we arrived to the Southside Refueling Station, and the offerings were sparse. My presumption is that the station had all the same options as the one on the north side. However, they were shutting everything down by the time we got there. As we began our ride back north to downtown Chicago, we began getting warnings that the course was about to be shut down so that Lakeshore Drive could be reopened to cars. The far ends of the course begin to shut down at 10:45, and there are rolling closures for the next 45 minutes until the entire course is shut down by 11:45 a.m.
So apparently they're opening up Lakeshore Drive in 10 minutes. So we're making a mad dash dash north back to the start area.
This resulted in an all-out sprint as we headed north, trying as hard as we could to not get caught and redirected onto the lakefront path. For a while, we were literally the last ones heading north, and we had the entire road to ourselves.
I mean, this is worth it. I'm just drawing S's on Lakeshore Drive, all by myself, no other riders, no other cars. That's what you get for being last place in Bike the Drive.
Eventually, we did hit a roadblock at about 31st Street, and were redirected to the lakefront path along with a handful of other riders. When we got beyond Museum Campus, that portion of Lakeshore Drive was still open to bikers, and we were able to hop back onto the road for the final few pedals back into Butler Field, which marked the conclusion of our 30-mile Bike the Drive ride.
That's a wrap. Bike the Drive 2025. It was fantastic. Really exceeded expectations. It was a great ride. What do you think, Amy?
I would do it again and again. It was awesome. Loved it so much.
2 thumbs up, Bike the Drive.
In summary, I absolutely recommend Bike the Drive for anyone who has never participated. It is a very unique event, and the communal atmosphere of over 20,000 people biking together is a one-of-a-kind experience. I will note that the entry price of $78 is not cheap. Certainly, it was more than I was expecting when my wife suggested we do the event. However, as I thought about it, I realized that virtually all athletic events have a price tag of over $50 to participate. Bike the Drive is an event that offers a 30-mile open course in an iconic setting for 5 hours. Furthermore, it is a fundraiser for the not-for-profit Active Transportation Alliance. This organization does advocacy work to improve biking conditions in Chicagoland. In addition to paying for the costs of the event, registration fees help support the work of this organization. All of this requires an incredible amount of resources, and in the end, I was happy to pay the higher than anticipated entry fee. I also spent a lot of time thinking about the percentage of participants who actually paid the registration fee. My hunch is that there is a significant number of riders that sneak onto the course. I think the event would benefit from producing proper helmet and bike stickers that are easily identifiable and more clearly display the paid status of those riding. The current situation had registrants print out a registration document. Riders were then instructed to cut out and tape their numbers to their helmet and bike. Needless to say, this is not very official and prone to manipulation. My final recommendation to all future participants is to start as early as possible. We did not get to the festival until 7:30 a.m. when the event had been going on for an hour. I was immediately jealous of the mass of riders who were already enjoying the route. I was subsequently shocked at how quickly the 3 hours passed by until course closures began. This is an event best done at a relaxed pace. Frequent stops for pictures and at the refueling stations are encouraged. You may as well give yourself as much time as possible by starting as close to 6:30 a.m. as you can. So next Labor Day weekend, get up early and bring your bike out to Lakeshore Drive to take part in Bike the Drive. You will be greeted by a stress-free and communal atmosphere with over 20,000 fellow bikers. The weather is sure to be great, and you will spend your morning doing something truly unique while getting some exercise in a one-of-a-kind setting.